Hi all. In this session, let us discuss about the topic of LTE power control. Okay. Before going to talk about the LTE specific power control, let us raise some questions by one. And what will happen in wired communication as well as in the wireless communication, right? So in wired communication, you assume that the amount of energy sent from the transmitter reaches the receiver without much degradation. Okay, and now you think connecting two PC with a long ethernet cable, example you keep it around 10 meter, and connecting a device to your PC with a simple RS-232 cable, and assume that it is a less than 2 meter. Okay, if in this situation, if you measure the voltage at the two end of the cables while communicating, we will not see much voltage drop between the source and the destination. Okay, of course there is a certain amount of voltage drop, but the drop is not so big that it cannot be recognized by the receiver. So suppose if the transmitter and receiver is connected wirelessly, what will happen? The energy drop will be more, right? So uh, something wirelessly, like we can test a mobile phone with antenna, or not with cable connection with network simulator or a spectrum analyzer. Okay, if you experienced all those things, the energy drop every time. If you do, there is a variation. Okay, so this is the way in each wired communication as well as the wireless communication, the power control is playing a vital role. Now we will see the specified LTE power control, in how we are going to handle this situation in the long term evolution process. What are the technical terms we are going to apply there? Okay, let us see one by one. Here, why we want to go for the uplink power control especially. So two reason is there. One is mm, to reduce the or to control the intra-cell and inter-cell interference. Here interference is the major issue in wireless communication, right? That is co-channel interference, adjacent channel interference, all will be there. Or intra-cell, inter-cell, all those things. So how we are going to limit? So that is the first reason. The next, user equipment. How to reduce the power consumption in user equipment. Okay. So here majorly the to control the interference by the caused by the user equipment to neighboring cells. Okay, and it will cost whenever we are going to maintaining the signal to interference noise ratio at the serving cell. So in LTE the power control in the uplink is to control the interference in general. Okay, so now we will see the power control scheme in the uplink shared channel transmission. So this power control can be done in two ways. One is conventional power control, another one is the fractional power control. So what are the, if we apply these schemes, what is the benefit and what we are going to achieve? Let us discuss here. Conventional power control, that is abbreviated as CPC. So in the conventional power control, it is to achieve the same signal to interference noise ratio, but user equipment will be different, and this will be happening in the base station. Okay, so this process we can call it as full compensation process is also, but here in CPC it will give a low, it will be having a low spectral efficiency. Okay, because signal to interference noise ratio is limited by the cell edge user equipments. So this is a one of the scheme what we are going to adapt to, and what will happen, it is low spectral efficiency. Let us go for the second thing, that is nothing but the fractional power control, and it is abbreviated as FPC. Okay, this FPC is called a open loop power control scheme. Okay, open loop power control scheme in the sense it allow full compensation or a partial compensation for the path loss and the shadowing. Okay, right here. But in the CPC, it is a full compensation. Here it is an open loop because it can allow a full or partial compensation of path loss and the shadow. Okay. Suppose user equipment with higher path loss. What do you mean by that? In the sense, the cell-edge user equipments, okay, they can operate in the with the lower signal to noise ratio requirements also. That we will call it as user equipments with higher path loss. This will be allowed only by the fractional power control scheme. So what is the benefit? What will happen if they operate in the lower SINR? It will generate the less interference to the other cells. Okay, so impact will be very minor. So they are able to transmit a higher data rates. Okay, now if we coming to the open, beside of this open loop power control, there is also a closed loop power control, which already we discussed. Okay, and this closed loop power control component adjust the user equipment transmission power to optimize the system performance. System performance is very the vital role, so we have to optimize that for the better thing. Okay, the next, these all are the equations which will play a vital role in the power control. So P is equal to minimum of P max into 10 log M plus P naught plus alpha into P. So P max is the nothing but the maximum user equipment transmission power. Then what is M? M is the number of assigned resource block, and P naught is a parameter which control the received SINR. Okay. Then alpha is nothing but cell specific path loss compensation factor. Then PL is the downlink path loss estimate calculated in the user equipment. So this formula play a vital role in the analysis of power control in the LTE. Now, if we consider the path loss and assume 10 log M plus P naught plus alpha into PL, which is very less than or equal to P max. So then the received power signal at the E node will be the PR is equal to P minus PL, right? So now if take the case of 3, suppose alpha is equal to 1. This user equipment will have the constant power, receiving power. Okay, so that will come under the full compensation or channel inversion. Now if alpha is equal to 0 case, the user equipment will have the transmission power that is independent of the path loss. That means there is no power control. When the alpha, for the alpha case 0 or less than alpha less than 1, it will coming under the fractional power control scheme. For different user equipment there will be different P tau, right, depending on the path loss for the survival of the base station. Okay, so these are the two equations we can maintain the received power as well as the power in the power control scheme in LTE. Then if you come, there are 3 different power shared channel transmission type. Okay, so for power for uplink shared channel transmission, when it is a semi-persistent, that means J is equal to 0. Okay, so here in this the values 0, 1, 2. When J is equal to 0, the transmissions will be a semi-persistent. When J is equal to 1, the transmissions or retransmissions will be dynamically scheduled. That means in a random. Sorry, it is a dynamic schedule. And whenever this J is equal to 2, the uplink shared channel transmission or retransmission will be random access response grant. So again, these are the analysis when we are assuming some values. Whenever J value comes 0, what is the status of transmission and retransmission? When J is equal to 1, what about the transmission, retransmission in the channel, such a way. Then hope everybody understood this power control in the LTE in uplink. Thank you so much. By this topic, the module 4 will be getting concluded. Thank you.